Automatic tracking with game vision. The first step is choosing the element you want to add, the element you want to follow a player. For this example, I'm going to use this spotlight element. I'll select the player I want. You'll notice that it will stay with this static option. You need to activate the movement option. To do that, you come here to the Properties panel, to this option here. You click, and you'll have this option, Automatic Tracking. Just click it, and you'll notice that a blue rectangle appears here around the player. You need to adjust this rectangle exactly over the points you want to track, in this case, the player. And then you just click here on Start Tracking. It will apply all the movement for us. Is it finished? I'll click OK here. I'll play the video here so we can see how our tracking turned out. You can see that the element follows the player while the element lasts here on my timeline. Of course, I can increase the time here. For example, if I want this tracking to last a little longer, I'll increase the duration of this movement. I'll click here on the last keyframe, and I'll continue the tracking here. I just click Automatic Tracking here and click Start Tracking. Once again, it will automatically apply the keyframes for us here. And then we just click OK. Here to see how it turned out. It will keep following the player there. Another possible case is also adding a positioning line. In this case, I separated a play here with 5 players in the defensive line, and I'm going to use it as an example. I'll click here on Positioning Line, and I'll add a line with 5 points. And now I'll move each one of the points here to its initial position. I'm going to do the same thing. After I position them on the player's feet, I'll come here to the Properties tab, then Automatic Tracking. For each ellipse, there is a blue rectangle here, and I'm going to do the same thing I had done in the previous movement. I select the player I want to track. In this case, I'll do my best to capture only the points of that player, to avoid our target chasing the wrong player. I'll do this for the 5 points here of the ellipse. Pay attention to this one here. I made the blue rectangle around the player I want to follow, avoiding the other player. This is very important for automatic tracking to work well here. After I configure the attention points here, I just click Start Tracking. Now we just wait for the process to finish. Usually, it's a quick process here. Since the keyframes are already created here on the timeline, we don't need to do anything. Just click OK. Now, let's see how it turned out. I'll play the video here so you can notice that the line is already in automatic positioning here. Of course, I can also make an edit with a freeze frame. For example, in this play here, I want to draw on this exact moment when the combination play is about to start. A good passing exchange. I'd like to highlight which movements are going to happen. So I'll position it exactly on the frame where I want to draw. When I find the point where I want to draw, I'll click this button here, Insert Pause. Click, I'll set the duration. In this case here, I want a duration of 5 seconds. And I'll click Insert Pause here. Now you'll notice that here on the timeline, we have some sections. We have this first section here, which is video. If I go back here and press play, you'll notice that the video will play. The moment it reaches this element we just created, notice how the image pauses, and as soon as it leaves this element, the video continues. So this is how you can create an alternate video with image and image with video. Whenever you want to create a frame, create a pause for drawing, you just click this button here. I'll go back here to the frame where I want to draw. I'll position it there at the beginning. I can hold Shift on the keyboard and drag the time marker here. It will snap exactly here to the cut between the video and the image. Now I can add my elements. For example, if I want to highlight the players, look, I can place a positioning ellipse here. One tip: if your timeline starts getting too messy, like mine is getting here with several elements and controllers, it becomes hard to select the one you want. You can lock the elements. For example, if I select the positioning ellipse here, I can click this lock button. And now it will stay locked here. Even if I accidentally click it, look, I won't be able to drag it. I can also do this here with the arrow. This way, these controls disappear. The arrow here is already positioned where I want. This is just for us to organize the view a little better, so you don't grab the wrong controller when editing. Of course, to bring the controls back here, you just select the element you want here on the timeline and unlock it here on the lock. Very quickly here, I already have the elements I want to draw. I only need to add an icon here. When we add elements on top of an image or a paused frame, the element gets exactly this duration here already. You can edit it, obviously. I also want it to start later. I'll move it here more toward the end. Now we're going to see the preview. This preview here, if you press play, is simplified. It still doesn't have the special effects, it doesn't have the entrance animations, it's just so we can see how it looks, adjust timing, element duration, and get a general idea. And if I want to preview it with the effects, I just click this button here. It's here for us to preview. I'll position the marker here at the beginning. Yes, we can preview it with the effects. This preview is only for us to get an idea of how it will look. Of course, the final export later will have very high resolution and high frames per second as well, right? The FPS will also be higher. This is just for us to get a sense of the timing of the animations, how it will look, and whether we want to make any adjustment. So this is how we make paused edits in Game Vision.